Hi guys, today we are going to install Kemu. But before we install, I want to quickly remind you guys that we have a Google Docs for pros and cons and how to use the installer. I will provide it to you in the description of this YouTube video. Okay, let's just go straight to this link. Okay, if you're on Linux or macOS, just click on this download tab and go to this Linux or macOS. But since I'm at Windows, I'm just going at the Windows tab and click on the 64-bit Windows. After that, I'm going to install or download this kemu.exe. So just click on it. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to click X. Okay, and as you can see right here, I have the .exe file. Just double click it, click on yes, select the language that you want. I'm just going with English. Click on next, I agree, next, specify the destination folder. I'm just going with this PC, secondary, and Kemu. I've already installed it, so I'm not going to install it again. I'm just going to click cancel, and let's go to change environment variables. Okay, first let's just click on the Windows tab or search tab. Let's just search environment variables right here and click on this button, environment variables. Double click this path and user variables. As you can see, I've already specified the Kemu folder right here, but if you don't have it yet, you need to specify it. Just click on new or double click this, double click. Maybe if you install it in here, just copy this right here, click on new or double click this, paste this, okay, and click on OK if you've already done it. And do the same too with the system variables. Go to path. As you can see, I've already put it here, but if you haven't, click on new and specify the folder here. Okay, after that you can download an ISO image. I'm going with Rocky Linux. I'm going with minimal ISO right here. You can download any ISO image if you want. You can have Ubuntu or maybe Arch. Okay, I'm going with Rocky Linux. Just click on this. I've already downloaded it, so I'm just going to click X. As you can see here, I have a lot of ISO images. So let's just get straight into it. So let's just go to PowerShell. After you've installed Kemu, do this command. But first, you need to go to the ISO directory. So first cd, go to this directory. Okay, and then let's just use Kemu system x86_64.exe boot the cd-rom / as you can see, if you clicked on tab here, it specifies and it gave us some list of which ISO images to choose from. I'm going with Rocky Linux. Okay, right here. As you can see, I have a Rocky Linux VM right here, and if you want to specify the memory, you can do like -m memory. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you guys. -m, for example, I have 2048 memory in my VM. I'm going to give it to the Rocky Linux. Click or enter, and there you go. That's how to use Kemu. Okay, let's talk about pros and cons using Kemu. For the pros, we feel like it is very powerful in versatile emulator. Yeah, you can download it either in Linux, macOS, or Windows. And if you go here, there are several versions also, which is very good. It can do semi-hosting, meaning it can do things with the host resources. For example, if I'm running Rocky Linux on my Kemu and I have a CPP running, for example, like print hello world, I can show it up in the host. Like for example, in Windows terminal, I can show the hello world from the QEMU CPP running, which is very amazing. And next, it is open source, so it is very customizable for specific needs. As you can see in the terminal when we try QEMU system, right? We can specify the memory, but where it is very customizable and very good. Next, it is a relatively small footprint, meaning it has less resources to run, and it uses a command line interface, so it can be powerful for automation and scripting. And if we want a VM to start quickly, we can use command line interface and it does it for us. Next, it also has active developer community. So as you can see here in the support, they gave us a documentation which is very good, and also the support here, they gave us a mailing list also. Okay, next let's talk about the cons. Well, the reliance on the command line interface, which can be intimidating for new users, okay, and it requires more configuration than VMware and VirtualBox, which can be a bit confusing at first. While efficient, performance can vary depending on hardware. So if you have a laptop that is it's very bad, it can run very slow. And next, QEMU configuration focuses on single user environment, and it cannot scale, right? So if you try to do this, for example, I have a memory at 2048, you cannot scale it up. That's how QEMU works, basically. So that's it for QEMU actually.
Alright, greetings everyone, my name is DARRYL, and in this video I'm going to show you all you need to know about VirtualBox to get started. So what to expect in this video? Firstly, I will guide you through on how to install VirtualBox, and then we will try to set up an Ubuntu operating system in our VirtualBox. And finally, we will discuss on why should we use VirtualBox instead of other VMs and its pros and cons. Alright, so first things first, go ahead and search VirtualBox in your search engine, and we'll go ahead and go to the downloads link. And here, I will download the Windows version because I'm using a Windows operating system. And after it's downloaded, it will then show up in your downloads folder as always. And then when it's done, we can just go ahead and run the program. Alright. And here we can hit next and click accept the terms. And for this one, we can choose our custom directory, the place where we want the VirtualBox to be installed. In this case, we'll just leave it as it is, and then we'll just proceed with the installation. And then click yes so that it can install other dependencies. Install. Then we can just wait for the installation to finish. Alright, when this pop-up is shown, we can go ahead and click finish and the VirtualBox will be open. As simple as that. That's how you can install VirtualBox. Now that's done, we can go ahead and delete our installers because we don't need it anymore, and we can download Ubuntu Desktop. You can type in your URL ubuntu.com/download/desktop and just download the latest version. But for this one, I will not download it right away because it has a quite large file. So I have a pre-prepared ISO right here. For those of you that doesn't have the ISO yet, you can go ahead and download. Right, so in the tools section, we want to click new, so we can create a new virtual machine. And for this one, let's just give it a name, Ubuntu Linux, or anything you would like. And for the folder, we'll locate the place where our ISO file is located. So I will just go ahead and copy the path to my ISO file. You can keep it wherever you like. Select folder, alright. And then for the ISO image, let's just select our ISO file, this one. Alright, so just right after we've selected the ISO file, the VirtualBox has detected that we're using Linux Ubuntu 64-bit. Right, then just click next, and this one, the password to set it up, let's just say, make it admin, just like that. Alright, and for the host name, you shouldn't have any spaces, so just delete any trailing spaces. Next, and in this part, we can set up on how many memories do we want the virtual machine, the OS, to consume. So we don't want to go to the red zone or too far down. Let's just take the middle part here. I will give it 8 GB of memory. Alright, and for the processors, in this case, this depends on your computer. I will give it 4 CPUs. Just be sure to put it in the green zone. And this is the amount of the storage that you're going to allocate. In this case, let's just allocate 25 gigabytes. And we'll just hit next and then finish. Alright, so let's just wait for the VM to be started. Okay, now it's up and running. All we need to do now is to set up our Ubuntu in our virtual machine. Alright, let's just wait for the Ubuntu to be installed. Alright, now that it's installed, we can go ahead and set up our name, our credentials. In this case, I will use my own name because some cases admin is not allowed to use for a username. Then you can go ahead and type in your password, and then let's just continue. Right now, all we need to do is just wait for it to finish installing, and after all that's done, we can start using our virtual machine. Right, so while we wait for the system to finish installing, let's discuss a little bit about VirtualBox. So why should we use it in the first place? So VirtualBox is a blend of usability and also efficiency. So in one end we have VMware, which is very heavyweight, but it's very user-friendly, it's easy to use. But at the other end we have KEMU, where it is very lightweight, but it is not easy to use. It requires skill and has a steep learning curve. So VirtualBox is the middle ground of these two virtual machines. It is easy to use and is lightweight. So the pros, first of all, it is free to use and open source, making it accessible to anyone. And also, it runs smoothly on multiple OS, for example, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Therefore, you can use the same virtualization software regardless of your host machine's OS. It is also lightweight and efficient, just as I've mentioned before. And also, it offers broad support for guest operating systems. What this means is that we can import multiple operating systems into our VirtualBox, for example, Ubuntu or Rocky Linux or Kali Linux and many others. And it is also highly customizable. You can adjust settings to meet your specific needs. Okay, so moving on to the cons of VirtualBox. So first things first, it is less user-friendly compared to VMware. So even though it is more lightweight, we have some trade-offs here because it is less user-friendly. And also, it offers fewer advanced features compared to the paid versions of VMware. And also, it has a smaller community and fewer resources online if compared to VMware. So if we have encountered a problem, maybe solutions are not as common as VMware in the internet because the community is smaller. And also, it is slower on running complex tasks. And because of its open source nature, it is not really compatible for large-scale deployments and also for enterprise environments. Right, so those are the reasons on why you should or should not use VirtualBox. Alright, so your virtual machine will be automatically restarted once your Ubuntu has finished installing. And now we can just log into our user that we've created before. I'll type in my password, hit enter, and then let's just wait. And there you go, your Linux virtual machine ready to use. So yeah, that's a wrap for this video. I hope this helps. See you soon.
Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm gonna share the process of installing VMware, and also I'm gonna share to you the pros and cons of using VMware compared to different virtual machine softwares. So first of all, here are the steps for downloading and using VMware. So we're gonna need two things we're gonna download beforehand. First of all, it's the VMware player itself, which here I'm gonna use the software provided by Binus. And then for the image ISO, I'm gonna use AMANTHA Linux. Here I have already downloaded the minimal version. It's quite large, so I have pre-downloaded. And for anyone who's gonna follow, here you can download it using this link. Okay, so it's quite straightforward. First of all, here I'm gonna show you the files. The first one is VMware. Here, all we need to do is install it. Here are some version controls and follow the installer directions. Right, and it's still loading. Yeah, just press next and accept conditions. Next. Here we do not need the hypervision platform, so we can just press next. And yeah, here are just some things you would want. This one is the one that you would need, so you make sure to check this one. It's to add it to the system path. Next, this one we just leave on default, and next. Lastly, we just press install. Here we're just gonna wait. Okay, when it's finished, it should look like this, and all we need to do is press finish. And now we can look it up here, VMware. Yep, this is it. Okay, as you can see, I've had some previous virtual machines that I've used, but here I'm gonna go through all the ways that you could install your own. Before we start, make sure you already download the ISO image, which is this one, which was quite large actually. And then we can create a new virtual machine. Then select the one with installer disk image file. Then browse and select the one that you want to use, which is this one I downloaded previously, and open. Let's press next. Here, I want to use a Linux operating system, but since we're using VMware, we can actually use many types of operating systems as long as we have the correct image ISO. I'm just gonna select Ubuntu for this one. And next, virtual machine, I'll use OS project. And the location is just up to you. Here I can also select how large I want the disk size to be. Okay, next, and finish. Here, we can just start the virtual machine. And here we can just press OK. And done. Here you just need to press install, and then that's already it. If you would like to use VMware tools for Linux, then you would need to download this for the virtual machine. And that's about it. Okay. Lastly, I want to share to you the pros and cons of VMware. So first of all, VMware has a very user-friendly interface, and as you can see previously, it was quite easy to make as long as you have downloaded all the resources. So for beginners, it's quite easy to learn and get the ropes of virtual machines. It also has a wide range of guest operating systems, which allows you to run any OS that you need within a virtual machine on your computer. It also offers better performance and more features with the Pro version compared to the completely free options like VirtualBox, which include a USB device that can pass through and some level of 3D graphics acceleration for advanced users. It also offers integration with paid VMware products, which, for example, are vSphere. So people who need it can migrate it quite quickly and easily through their system. And lastly, VMware has a really large community and extensive resources. So it provides a lot of resources for new people to learn, and tutorials, and especially support for troubleshooting any issue that we might get. Lastly, the cons of VMware, that it lacks features available in the paid version, such as nested virtualization and more powerful 3D graphics support. It also has potentially slower performance compared to Hyper-V because it requires more system resources. It's less straightforward for optimization compared to other counterparts such as KVM. And that's about it. Thank you for your time.